Okay, good afternoon. I run ads all the time looking for real estate agents. Before we get started, let me introduce myself. My name is Bob Eberle. New York State says I have to introduce myself as Robert L. Eberle because that's how my name appears on my real estate license. So here's your first tip. If you're just getting your license and you haven't gone to that process, started that process yet, if you have a nickname that people call you and you like to use, like me, I'm Bob. I'm not Robert. The only one that ever called me Robert was my mother, and that was not good. So if you have a nickname, use that, because if you use your formal name, you have to introduce yourself like that, and all your advertising has to be that way. And I regret it now because hardly anybody knows me as Robert. Everybody knows me as Bob. But anyways, okay, so the first step in your process is going to be you have to go to school to get a license. And it's a 77-hour course here in New York State. And I'm just moving this out of the way because I'm going to show you where the school you should go to. And it's called realestateu.com. Right here, you go choose your state, go down here to New York, and you will get all the information. You can compare packages. Starts at $149. Let's take a look at the packages. Okay, the course only is $149. Now, if you know a little bit about real estate, I'd say that's all you really need. If you need a study guide, if you're one of those people that needs a study guide, then you want to do this one here. And, Agent Success, I have no idea what that is, but I'm sure they sell you something. My personal opinion is this is the one over here that most people are going to need. Now, if you're taking notes, write this down. I've got a coupon code for them, and it's called NYC10. That will save you $15 on this. Okay, so once you take this course, and I hate it when people are sharing their screen on Zooms and they're going up and down, they keep moving the screen. And I'll try not to do that because I think it's incredibly distracting. But once you sign up for this course, it's a 77-hour course. You can study at your own pace, and you can do it on the go with on-demand lessons. You have a year to complete this course. And when you're done, then because you did this online and they don't know whether you had Google open and were answering all the questions that way, which I guess you could do. But then you have to go take a proctored test somewhere, and they'll tell you where to go to find the next proctored test. You pass that test. Now you're ready to go over here and apply for your license at the Department of State. And how you get here is just Google, how do I obtain my real estate license in New York State? This is going to be the first non-ad link that you'll see. And you can click that and it'll bring you right here where I am right now. So you just scroll down. They're going to give you an overview. And real estate under the supervision of a licensed real estate broker facilitates the purchase and sale of property on behalf of customers. You obtain lists of property for sale with the employing broker, assists buyers, customers of real estate to locate and purchase property. There's a lot of different things that you do as a real estate agent, but those are the two primary ones. You get buyers and you take them out and you show them houses and you advise them on the purchase of it. And the other group of people are people that are trying to sell their house, and you list and market their house. Now, if you list the house, this is probably going to be a question, you can also sell it. Now, I'll never forget the very first time that I ran into this. I listed my friend's and neighbor's house, and I bring the contract over. The buyer wrote the contract through me. They saw my sign, they called me, I showed them the house. We sat down, we wrote an offer, and then I had to bring it over to the sellers. And the husband, he wanted to sell his house in the worst way because he wanted to get out of New York, and because he traveled a lot for his job. So he wanted to move somewhere that is an airline hub, and Charlotte was his preferred one. But as I'm going through all of this, his wife, we were in their dining room. The wife gets up and walks out to the kitchen, turns around, comes back, and she stops at the entrance to the dining room, folds her arms in front of her, and leans up against the door frame. And I can tell something's not right. So I said, "Is there a problem?" And she goes, "Yeah, there is." She said, "I thought you were working for us. This just sounds like a total conflict of interest." You know what? She's right. It is a conflict of interest because you're representing two parties on each side of the transaction. But I said to her, "Okay, you can choose not to want me to represent them, and I can go get them another agent. But let me ask you this. What did you hire me for? If you hired me to sell the house, then in order to do that, I have to be able to talk to customers who are interested in buying the house. If all you wanted me to do was put the pretty sign in the front yard and go on my way and wait for an agent to bring us an offer, I could do that too." And that's what usually happens. I would say it's probably like 80% of the time, another agent is going to sell your listing. But sometimes the person that sees the house either online or they drove past it and saw your sign, they're going to write your name and number down. They're going to call you. And in that case, then you have to represent both sides. And how you do that is you very carefully walk a tightrope between the two of them. And how I explain it to everybody is, look, anything you tell me in confidence, I cannot share with them. And anything they tell me in confidence, I cannot share with you. But think about this. It's called a meeting of the minds for a reason. If the transaction favors them heavily in one way, you're not going to want to do it, and vice versa. If it favors you in one, they're not going to want to do it. Doesn't that make sense? And when you explain it to people that way, then they kind of get it, and they're usually okay with it. And if you stick to those rules, you won't be violating any rules. And this course will get into more of that. But you can see here, the term of your license is 2 years. Every 2 years, you're going to have to renew your license. What are the requirements? You got to submit a completed application, which you'll get on this page. The required fee, which we'll show you in a second. You got to be 18 years old. I actually had a 16-year-old come to one of my career days once who wanted to get her license. And I said, you got to come back in 2 years. You've got to completed that 77 hours of approved qualifying education. See our FAQs list down below for more information. You got to pass the New York State real estate salesperson examination. Now, that's the one that is put on by the state of New York. So you're going to take 2 exams. The one that the course is going to send you to, the proctored exam, and then you're going to go to the Alfred E. Smith building in Albany. I'm assuming that you people are all from Albany. You're going to go down in Albany and take the test there. You got to be sponsored by a New York State licensed real estate broker. That's where I come in, and EXP. I'm with EXP Realty, and you know, I'm going to do another video and several videos on the benefits of joining us at EXP. But assuming you want to come on board with us, EXP is going to be your New York State real estate broker. You got to have that current New York State photo driver's ID, or if you don't drive, you got to have a non-driver ID, which you would also get at motor vehicles. I don't know how you're going to go out and show houses if you don't have a driver's license. So I would recommend you getting a driver's license if you don't have one. Photo IDs, here they're going to tell you the different kinds. So we're just going to go back over here. So those are the requirements. Course providers. There is a long list here, and you will see if you open this up right here. Qualifying education schools is what you're going to want. Here's the list. And if you go down to R, there's a lot of them. Most of these are in person. Here's Real Estate U. It's out of Miami, Florida, and they do several different states. They're the cheapest. That's why I recommend them, because they're all going to teach you the same course. And then once you get past the 2 years, and you got to start doing continuing education, because every 2 years you got to do 22 and a half hours of what's called CE. You'd come here, and our MLS offers, it's part CE is part of your dues. You got to find a real estate school, search eAccess using your name. Let's just click on this, take a quick look. Oh, that's eAccess. And we'll shut that down. Real estate, this curriculum here, and list of approved law of agency courses. That is also something you have to do, but it's usually incorporated into this 77 hours. Fees, it's $65 with your initial application to the state of New York. It's $65 every 2 years. The written exam is $15. That's the one down at Alfred E. Smith building. Now, if you fail it, it's $15 every time you fail it. So don't fail it. Now, here's some advice. I tell people, look, if you failed it, you're putting too much pressure on yourself. Just read the questions carefully, think about it for a minute, choose the answer that makes the most sense, and move on. If you finish that, I believe they give you an hour and a half to do it now. If you finish that early, don't go back and be thinking about changing answers, because that is usually, even schools will tell you this, that is when you change a correct answer to a wrong answer. And it's $10 if you need to change your name. Now, if you're a female and you get married and you change your name, then there's no cost to that. If you need a duplicate license or registration request, I don't know why you would need a duplicate, but you might for some reason. All right, here's the actual application. And here's other applications for things. There's even I'm a New York State real estate instructor. I could teach at one of these schools, but I don't bother to because I don't have time for that. The written exam, you're going to create an account if you're a new licensee and a registrant. That's going to get you over on eAccess. I'll show you. It takes you over there. All right, here's where you create your account. This is where you're going to get your grade. Okay, you need to bring with you all of these things. The exam site policies, electronic devices. Your cell phone obviously has to be shut off because they don't want you Googling things. Eating, drinking, smoking, not permitted. If you bring food, you're going to be asked to dispose of them before entering the exam room. It's kind of like getting on an airplane. Your score reporting. Exam results are going to be posted on your eAccess New York account. Now, they're not going to tell you, like in school, you got an 88. They're just going to tell you if you passed or you failed. You're just looking for the password. Okay, and it's not password. You want the word pass. About the exam, it's 1.5 hours to complete the test. They're all multiple choice questions. Once you have that completed, you are now what's called a New York State licensed real estate salesperson. You are not a real estate agent. You're not a realtor. You're not a realtor until you join the local board, and then part of joining the board, I'll talk about that in a minute here. So this is what you got to do to get to the next stage. The next stage is going to be joining EXP if you choose to come with us. EXP is $149 one-time only fee. Now you can join other brokerages and they're not going to charge you anything to join them. But EXP is the inventor of the cloud-based brokerage. There are no better. My personal opinion is if you're a tech-savvy person, this is the place you want to be. If you want to learn how to really, truly be a real estate agent, joining our group will allow you to truly learn how to be a real estate agent. Now, here's what happens when you go to work at a big box brokerage and you don't know anything. Now, they may put on some training classes and they're going to tell you to pick up the phone and call people that you know. Then they're going to tell you to pick up the phone and call for sale by owners. And then they're going to tell you to pick up the phone and call expired listings. I got to tell you, from having done that my whole life, as a realtor, those people don't like you and they don't want to be called. Do you like being called by solicitors? Because when you start doing that, that's what you are. Okay. We're going to teach you how to have people call you rather than you call them. Much easier phone call to have with somebody when they pick up the phone and call you. And that's what we will teach you how to do here at EXP. Let's see. So now you've joined EXP, and I'll give you a look at what that looks like. And it goes join exp.com. Is that what it is? No, it's not. It's join EXP, join.exprealty.com. Here's where it is. You click join us today, and you're a new agent. So you're going to fill all this information in here. You're going to check that box, you agree, and then you're going to check this, and you're going to say, I'm not a robot. You're going to create the account. We're not going to go that far any farther than this, but then it takes you to, you got to select a sponsor. Now, I'm going to post a video on another channel I have about how do you choose a sponsor. And it used to be that the thought was at EXP that you chose the first person who told you about EXP. That is not true. You choose the person who had the most influence on you joining EXP. And I would hope you would think that was me after you start watching my videos. And feel free to call me. My phone number is going to be in the comments down below. You can pick up the phone, call me directly, say, hey, Bob, I watched your Become a Real Estate Agent video. Okay, so now you have to, you've got your license. You have to join EXP. You're now with EXP. So now you are a New York State licensed real estate salesperson at EXP Realty. Then you have to join what's called the board. The board, I'm going to open this up and the board is called GCAR. It is the Greater Capital Association of Realtors. And the word is realtor, not realtor, realtors. Okay. This is the website for them. They are located, who we are, join or review, join or renew. Okay. You can join here, realtor application. They'll probably walk you right through it. When I joined, I just got in the car and drove over to their office. They're over on New Carner Road. They're a little challenging to try to find, but you just go in and you go up to the window and you say, hey, I want to join the board. I just passed. They're going to say, congratulations. Okay, so what does it cost to join the board? This is where it gets expensive, right? Up till now, you've only spent a few $100s. The board dues are roughly, if you joined January 1st, which you're not going to join January 1st because they're not open on New Year's Day, but if you join January the 2nd, the year dues would be about $1,200. Now, what does that cover? That's going to cover 4 different organizations. The first one is GCAR. That is our local board. The second one is NYSAR, New York State Association of Realtors. I'll show you what that looks like. You would go here because they got some pretty decent training stuff. Once you're a member, you can log in. And then the other one is going to be NAR.com, National Association of Realtors. And that's not it. You know what it is? It is, I think it's realtor.org. Yeah. Page not found. Oh, it's nar.realtor now. They changed it. Used to be realtor.org. It's NAR.Realtor is the national. Once you're a member, you can sign in here. Do not pay dues here. Pay dues at GCAR. Okay. But when you pay them, let's say you join January 2nd, there's $1,200 roughly in dues. That's your dues for those three organizations I just showed you. And then the other one is going to be the MLS. We are on Flex MLS, and the MLS looks something like this. Come on. Here we go. Click Flex MLS. And this is what it looks like. Okay, now your continuing ed, CGCAR has free education, so they got an education calendar. You can go there and see what kind of classes they're putting on and get all that done. So there's lots of great stuff here. The thing I use the most is quick search. You know, I'm looking for properties, and this is telling me right now there's 1,738 listings on the market. Not a lot. That's not a lot. But it is what it is. So now you've joined the 4 organizations, and I don't know how slowly this will open up, but I'm going to give you a quick overview of, it's opening pretty quick. Okay, this is eXp World. Now we have physical offices here in the Capital District. We've got one in Schenectady, there's one in Latham, I believe there's one up in Saratoga and one in Lake George. This is what we call our office. This is our cloud-based office called eXp World, and it uses a lot of memory, so it's a little slow starting up, and I've got a newer laptop too, only a couple of years old, and you can see it's still going. So we'll just let it do its thing. Eventually, you're going to see a lot of avatars pop up. Here they are, okay? And so that's me right there in the blue shirt. I don't have that color hair, but maybe I do. I used to be blonde when I was a kid. And you can go anywhere. You can click over here and go to, and all of these offices are open. And you can, I tell people this, I once had an issue with my laptop and I was having a problem. So I went on here and I went to tech support. And if you, we'll do it, we'll just show you. Go tech support. See, it just blasted me over there. And now I'm at tech support. And I got to go over here and take a ticket. And then once I get a ticket and a number, kind of like at the deli counter, some guy is going to grab me and pull me into a table. See those tables in the back? And then you're going to be talking to a live person, just like this. And they're going to go, what's the issue? So I told them, I said, I'm having a problem with my laptop. It's like, what kind of laptop is it? Can you access your Gmail? I said, yes. And he goes, okay, I'm going to send you something on Gmail. I want you to open it and click it. So he sent it to me. I opened it, clicked it. Now the guy could see under the hood of my laptop. And he did some things. I hear him banging away on his keyboard. And he goes, okay, I want you to, after you get out of here, I want you to restart your laptop and you should be okay. If you don't, come back and I'll see you in the waiting line. I'll bring you back in here, but I don't think I'm going to see you again. I went, okay, great. So I did exactly as he said. I closed out eXp World, restarted my laptop, boom, it was fixed. That cost me nothing. If I went to Best Buy or the Apple Store or wherever, I probably would have paid for it. So nice little service to have. And there's lots of classes on here. The training schedule comes out, I think it comes out on Sunday night. And there are more hours of training during the week that you can go here and take than you have hours in the day. So there you have it. I just walked you through from start to finish how to get your real estate license and become a realtor, which you become when you join, you pay your dues at GCAR and you have then joined NAR.Realtor because they own the rights, the trademark rights to the word realtor. The only way you can use Realtor is with your licensed name, like mine is Robert L. Eberle, comma, Realtor. Or if I wanted to, EXP Realty, comma, Realtors, because there's multiple. There's 90,000 of them here. Questions, reach out to me. Again, my cell phone number will be down below, or you can leave a message on this because this video is going to be on YouTube. All righty, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Thanks for watching the video. Again, you got questions, hit me up. I will talk to you soon. Take care.